guys, welcome back to my channel. So jumping straight into the video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I pleached the knots of this 16-inch 13x4 super double drawn bob wig. And I'm going to be showing you guys how I also plucked this wig. I did minimal plucking because I didn't feel the need to go heavy. It just really depends on the wig. I'm showing you guys the knots of this wig. They are quite tiny in the front, and yeah, this is the lace. It's quite ashy, but we're gonna get rid of all of that. So the wig has 3 combs. I normally just cut those combs off and leave the one at the back, and then it also has an adjustable band, which I don't really use, and then I just use those straps that I just showed you. I use these straps to secure the wig, and yeah, keep on watching. So you guys, I can't really get a proper angle with putting my camera on the tripod, so I am doing this on my kitchen counter because this is the only flat surface that I have in my apartment that's close to the sink. Also because my bathroom basin is just too small to accommodate everything, so that's why I'm doing it on my kitchen counter. So yeah, so basically these are all the things that you're going to be needing. I am going to put everything in the description box. So I'm going to be using some Got2b to push the hair back, and then I am going to show you guys how I mix the peroxide and the bleach, because I'm gonna form a paste consistency. I'm gonna show you guys everything, but it is gonna be like more of a handheld type of situation, and I'm just gonna talk through what I'm doing. So I'm using like an old towel that I just use specifically for my hair, like placing it on the floor when the hair is drying and all that stuff. So just use like a nice base so that you don't get any of the bleach onto your counter. So just use any old towel. So now I'm just gonna spray some Got2b. So you want to spray this directly on the hairline. And you're just gonna push the hairs back. So let me try and put this on my tripod. So yeah, the reason why you want to do this first is because you want to allow the Got2b to dry fully before you apply the bleach, because you don't want to apply the bleach while the Got2b is still wet. It might hinder the front knots being bleached. So the other day I did bleach my knots on my other bob wig, and it came out really perfect. So I'm hoping that I can get the same result with this one. And bear in mind, my bob wig, I had already plucked it. I thought that, you know, I was gonna over bleach the knots, but funny enough, it didn't over bleach at all, which means I'm using a pretty good bleaching powder, and also the consistency of the bleach was perfect. So hopefully I can get to do that again. So yeah, just make sure all the hairs are pushed back. Oops, I wasn't showing you. Sorry guys, like I can not. So I'm gonna take out this band because I have no use for it. And then I'm gonna put on some gloves, some disposable gloves, because you don't want to get bleach all over your skin. It does burn, so just be careful. So I'm gonna be using this mixing bowl, and I'm taking the Brilliant bleach powder, and I'm gonna do like 2 tablespoons or 2 scoops. So I'm going to take the peroxide, the cream peroxide, and I'm literally just going to eyeball it. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. You don't want to add too much. Where's the fork? So I like to use a plastic fork, and I'm gonna mix this together. As you can see, we can actually go in and add just a small amount. Not too much. You want to whisk this. And you want to form like a paste type of consistency. So for me, this looks perfect, because this is around about the same consistency that I got the last time I bleached my knots. Just want to keep mixing, mixing, mixing. And as you can see, it's a paste consistency. It's not falling off of the fork. I'm gonna use this applicator thingy, and I'm gonna use this to apply it on to the wig. So you want to place your wig like this. You want to start from the bottom and just spread it. So as you guys can see, I'm just spreading the bleach mixture gently into the knots. I'm gently pushing it into the knots as well, because you don't want that bleach to just sit on the lace. You want it to also penetrate and reach the knots, but not necessarily over bleach the knots. That is why the consistency is very important. So yeah, you're just gonna spread that mixture all over the lace, starting from the back, because the back has like very stubborn thick knots. So you want to take your time and make sure that each and every part of the lace is covered. And the front knots bleach quicker than the back knots, so just make sure that you apply just enough. I realized that I didn't really show you guys properly with that whole setup that I had. So this is a different day. I just decided to just film bleaching the knots of my curly wig, my Jerry curl wig. I'm showing you guys the knots. As you can see, the knots are quite thick. So this wig did take longer to bleach compared to the bob. But yeah, I'm just repeating the same process that you guys saw already, pushing the hairs back and applying Got2b and moving all of that hair back. I just felt like in the other clips I was not really showing you guys properly, so that's why I decided to film this and show you guys again. So I'm just putting in 2 scoops of the bleach powder and then mixing it with the crème peroxide. Again, you want to just add in slowly, bit by bit, and mix as you go so that you don't end up with a runny consistency. So here I'm showing you guys in depth. My camera was out of focus in the other clips, so that is why I felt the need to do this again and show you guys again. And I also didn't like the lighting, and the whole setup in my kitchen was just a mess, so I just decided to just repeat only the parts that I felt like needed more attention. So yeah, once again, I am spreading that bleach powder on the lace, and I'm saturating it starting from the back and making my way to the front. So I'm gonna be switching between this wig, like showing you guys the results of this wig as well as the results of the bob wig. So please bear with me. This video is gonna be a little confusing, but yeah, as long as you guys can see that the wigs are both going to look different. Like the bob wig and this Jerry curl wig is gonna look different in terms of the results. But yeah, I guess it just depends on the hair, and it depends on the lace as well, on like how the outcome is going to be. So just watch what I'm doing and you guys are just going to see the whole process. Take some foil, fold it in half, and actually let's make it more like this. And I'm going to put this in here like so. Ooh. Make sure that the lace doesn't touch the actual hair. And as you guys can see, yeah, all the knots are covered in bleach. So now I'm going to take more foil and I'm going to cover. I'm just going to do it like this. The lace like this. And then I'm gonna let that sit for 45 minutes, and I'm gonna check on the lace every 10 minutes. And I'll be right back to show you guys with each checkup how the knots are looking. So again, you guys, I'm gonna leave this for a good 45 minutes. I'm gonna leave it uncovered this time. I want to see if it makes a difference. Yeah, I feel like with my setup this time around, you guys were able to see how I was able to put on the bleach on the hair. This is my Jerry curl wig that I've worn on my channel before, and I'm gonna install it again because it's been a while. But I was like, I need to bleach these knots. I have to bleach the knots of all my wigs, and it also helps me to practice and learn and see where I potentially go wrong and whatnot. Never mind the excess lace, I am gonna cut that off once I install the wig. I did remove the band off of this wig, and I did fix it on the side because the lace had ripped. Yeah, but anyways, so I'm gonna leave this uncovered for 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm gonna be checking on these knots religiously. And then I'm gonna do the whole process again, like wash it, put purple shampoo. I'm gonna be using the exact same products that I used before. And yeah, so this is what the knots are looking like after 10 minutes. As you can see, they haven't really started turning brown yet, so we're gonna close this again for another 10 minutes, and we're just gonna keep checking. I did switch off my light so that you guys can see with just my house lights how these knots are looking. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, we still want to give it more time. So this is after like another 15 minutes, so it's been 25 minutes in total. And as you can see, the knots are still not turning, so you want to keep waiting up until they turn like a golden type of color, then we will be ready to rinse it off. And I don't know if you guys can see, but the bleach is actually foaming, and that's very normal because when I bleached the knots the first time, it did do the same thing. And do not worry about the hairs that are covered in bleach. We are still gonna pluck this wig, so we are gonna pluck those hairs that got trapped in the bleach, so do not worry about that. But yeah, I just want you guys to notice how the bleach is foaming, so covering it up really does help. Just keep checking the wig every 10 minutes. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh my gosh, my hand is really not stable. But yeah, the knots have actually turned golden, but then some parts still need more time. It's already been like 40 minutes. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave this on. It's taking quite a while to fully bleach, but most of the knots have turned like a golden brown, so I'm gonna leave this for another 5 minutes and then I'm gonna rinse it off. So as you guys can see, I've rinsed off the bleach off of the hair, and this is what the wig is looking like. For a second I thought the knots were not bleaching, but they actually did bleach. I don't know if I can show you guys, like, yeah, you see, it did bleach. As you can see, it did bleach. So before I tone the knots, I'm going to, let me just zoom this out a little. I am going to wash the wig fully because I want to make sure that all that bleach is off of the wig. And I'm going to be going in with this Pantene shampoo. This is the moisture renewal. You can go in with any shampoo of your choice. I'm just going to shampoo the hair and then rinse it off. Alright, now that I've rinsed off all of that shampoo, I am now going to tone these knots. And I'm going to be using this purple shampoo from Frieda. You can use any purple shampoo of your choice, but I really liked how this one worked on my previous unit, so I'm just gonna put it all over the lace, and I'm also gonna let it sit for like a good 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna rinse it off. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes, and now I'm going to rinse off all of this purple shampoo. And I love how this particular purple shampoo just tones down the knots. You guys are gonna see once I've fully rinsed it off. So I've rinsed off all of that purple shampoo, and this is what the wig is looking like. Oh my gosh, it's finally giving scalp. Obviously it needs plucking for you to actually see properly how the knots are looking. The hairline is actually quite thick, but yeah, the knots bleached pretty okay, pretty decently. Yeah, so now I'm gonna go in with the Pantene moisture renewal conditioner. I'm gonna let this sit for like an hour, and then I'm gonna rinse that off. And then I'm gonna come back to show you guys once the wig is fully air dried, and yeah, we're gonna get into plucking it. I wanted to quickly show you guys what the lace is looking like. As you can see, it's like a brassy type of orange. And I don't know if it has something to do with also the fact that the lace was tinted. I did leave the bleach on for quite a long time simply because The knots were a bit thick at the back, but they did bleach pretty well, as you can see. Now I'm gonna put some purple shampoo, and then I'm gonna wash the wig. And yeah, as you guys can see, the brassiness has been toned down by the purple shampoo. So now I'm going to condition the hair for about a couple hours and then rinse it off. This is what the bob wig looks like after air drying. It's nice and fresh and clean, and as you guys can see, there are no knots. So now we can get straight into plucking. The back knots were a bit stubborn, so some of the knots on the wig didn't really bleach properly, but it doesn't matter. As long as the front looks good, I am happy. So now I'm just combing the hair back with my comb, and I'm also taking my hot comb and I'm just gently pushing the hair back because you don't want any of the flyaways to interrupt your plucking process. Personally, I like to do dry plucking, but I also do wet plucking sometimes, where I just spray water and I pluck the wig. But I realized that spraying the hair with water makes it difficult for me to pluck my wig without creating holes. So dry plucking does help me to just not create holes on my lace. So this is a tweezer that you can go in with. However, this is the tweezer that I like to use. It's more it's like smaller and sharper than the first one that I showed you guys. So yeah, now I'm just sectioning out the hair. I sectioned out the hair into 3 sections. So I'm starting with the first section and I'm just parting out the first row of hair, like the hair that you use to do your baby hairs. So I'm just plucking. As you guys can see, I'm just plucking the first row. I don't know how to properly explain this whole process, but just watch what I'm doing and you guys are gonna get a hang of it. I'll try my best to just explain. However, you want to pluck in sections and you don't want to stay in one place. You want to keep moving. Whenever you see any dense areas that need more plucking, just go back in there and pluck. Don't be afraid to pluck, guys. Like, it is literally going to make your wig look so much more natural. And yeah, I pluck all of my wigs and they all just look so good. So you don't want to skip this step whenever you're customizing your wig. You want to bleach the knots, you want to pluck the wig. It's really going to make a huge difference in your install because nobody likes a helmet looking wig. Yeah, so once you get to the front, as you can see, I'm pushing all the hairs back. Now I'm going to get to plucking the front. You want to be careful this time around because the knots are much thinner in the front. So if you pluck too much in one spot, you are going to have a bald spot and it's not going to look nice. You're going to have to go back and ventilate, and that is another process on its own. So rather just keep your eyes on how much you're plucking and where you're plucking.
Cause I don't wanna hurt nobody. Did it over text, didn't call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you wanna be somebody.
Use your hot comb to push the hairs back some more so you can see what the hairline is looking like. And as you guys can see, I'm going back in again with the tweezer and I'm plucking the same rows again. I part the hair twice. Yeah, I don't go too far back because I don't want my wigs to look baldy or over plucked. So yeah, I did very minimal plucking on this wig. It didn't even take me that long, to be honest. yeah, it was very easy to pluck this wig. Plucking always just depends on the wig that you're plucking. Sometimes you might find yourself plucking a little more than any other average day, but it just really depends. Like with this wig, I did minimal plucking, but with my other units, I have noticed that I plucked a little bit more. It just depends on the type of look you're going for and the type of wig that you are plucking. Now I'm just showing you guys the difference between the plucked side and the unplucked side. I did go off camera to finish up the rest of the plucking. This is the hair that I ended up plucking. It was quite a lot, but it wasn't too bad. And yeah, this is what the wig looks like after I had plucked it, and it is absolutely gorgeous, you guys. I had to show you with my lights, and I also had to show you in natural lighting just so you guys can see. It looks very nice and neat and seamless. Yeah, I might go back in and pluck some more, but honestly I'm happy with how it looks. And also this prevents my wig from balding over time. So you just want to start off with minimal plucking, because as time goes by your wig is going to shed and you will lose a lot of hair in front. So be mindful of that whenever you're plucking. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and share the video, and I'll see you on my next one.